The political world has been buzzing about the high-profile Alaska summit between U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. And now, John Bolton, the former U.S. National Security Advisor, has stepped forward with his sharp assessment of what really went down. According to Bolton, Trump may not have outright lost, but in his words, Putin clearly won. Let's break this down. The Alaska meeting was billed as a potential turning point, given that it was Putin's first trip to the United States in over a decade. Expectations were high, especially with the ongoing war in Ukraine hanging in the balance. But by the end of the summit, there were no major agreements, no clear roadmap, and certainly no breakthroughs. Instead, both leaders walked away, giving very different accounts of what was achieved. Bolton's analysis cuts straight to the heart of the issue. He told CNN's Aaron Burnett that while Trump didn't necessarily lose ground, he also didn't secure any tangible wins. Meanwhile, Putin, according to Bolton, got almost everything he came for. Trump didn't come away with anything except more meetings, Bolton said. Putin has gone a long way to re-establishing the relationship, which I've always believed was his key goal. Think about that for a second. For Putin, rebuilding ties with Washington, on his terms, is a huge diplomatic advantage. And Bolton argues that the Russian leader managed to do just that without making any real concessions. He pointed out that Putin walked away without agreeing to a ceasefire, without tightening sanctions, and without locking himself into the next round of talks. He has escaped sanctions. He's not facing a ceasefire. The next meeting is not set, Bolton explained. Even more striking, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky wasn't informed of the summit's key points before Trump and Putin held their press conference. Bolton's conclusion was blunt. Putin achieved most of what he wanted. Trump achieved very little. Now, one detail Bolton highlighted was Trump's demeanor during the summit. He described Trump as looking very tired, not disappointed, but tired. Bolton stopped short of speculating on why, but he made it clear that this impression could be significant when assessing Trump's state of mind during such a critical negotiation. So what exactly happened at the Alaska summit? On the surface, Trump welcomed Putin warmly, rolling out what seemed like a diplomatic red carpet. But behind closed doors, little concrete progress was made. Trump later told reporters, "There's no deal until there's a deal," while Putin suggested they had reached some kind of understanding on Ukraine. Interestingly, Putin also used the opportunity to warn European nations not to, quote, torpedo the nascent progress between Washington and Moscow. This contrast in messaging is telling. While Trump tried to frame the summit as open-ended, Putin positioned himself as already gaining ground. And in diplomacy, perception often matters just as much as substance. Meanwhile, in the aftermath of the summit, Ukraine's President Zelensky stepped into the spotlight. He revealed that he had a, quote, long and substantive phone call with Trump after the Alaska meeting. According to Zelensky, Trump invited him to Washington, where the two leaders will meet in person to go over what he described as all the details regarding ending the killing and the war. This will be Zelensky's first visit to the U.S. since February, when tensions with Trump flared during a heated Oval Office exchange. Back then, Trump accused Zelensky of being disrespectful, a moment that drew international headlines. That context makes Monday's meeting even more significant. It could reshape how the U.S. positions itself in support of Ukraine after the Alaska talks left so many unanswered questions. In addition to the Zelensky call, Trump also held talks with NATO leaders over the weekend. The White House has said those discussions focused on reinforcing the alliance and addressing the security implications of the ongoing war. So to sum it all up, the Alaska summit may have looked like a diplomatic milestone on the surface, but Bolton's assessment paints a different picture. Trump walked away without clear wins, while Putin left with momentum, stronger optics, and a revived relationship with Washington, something he's been seeking for years. And that's why Bolton's verdict is resonating. Trump did not lose, but Putin clearly won. The question now is how this will play out in the coming weeks. Will Trump and Zelensky's upcoming meeting reset the narrative? Or has Putin already secured the strategic advantage he wanted? So what's your take? Drop a comment below.